Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is a 1968 Mustang. I don't know much about these because this isn't even mine. This is my friend's. From the last bike video that was just finished being filmed a few minutes ago. There's a few problems with this. It's pretty good on the outside, but it's a little rusty. I don't know. It's really dark over here, there's no light. The rear bumper, there's a gap here. You can kind of see a reflection. There's a big gap there in the bumper where it's been hit. There's some rust on the front end, so that has to get patched up. I can almost fit my finger through there. I think this side is actually good for the most part. And the inside has a few issues too. You can see it's dirty. That's a lawnmower seat in there. And here's where the problem is. That sunlight you can see through there. There's a massive hole in the floor. I could put my foot through it if I wanted to. But that's one of the main issues, and apparently there's an exhaust leak right there. Other than that, I think a few of the gauges work. Not all of them though.
Just the fuel gauge.
The fuel gauge doesn't work?
Just the fuel gauge.
Just the fuel gauge doesn't work. And under the hood is the 6-cylinder engine for this car. Not the original carburetor, it's a Chinese one, I think you said?
It's from Amazon.
Yeah, Chinese carburetor from Amazon. It's pretty close to the original one. I haven't been able to see any differences from them. But it's still going to need to be tuned up a little bit. And I think the radiator is having a bit of issues. But other than that, we're going to try and get this up and running for his mom because it's her car. So we're going to start on the floor today. The hole in the passenger side floor is what we're going to start with. The rust here is pretty bad. There's pretty much no floor here anymore. I'm pretty sure, yeah, over at the driver's side there's a little bit there too. Well, it's probably creeping up. We didn't check. First we're going to take out this carpet, then we'll look at the floor. We have the carpet out and now we can see the full extent of the rust. You can see my foot through that. That's the exhaust pipe there, I think. Yeah, it is. Rust goes all the way around. And it's generally not that good. The back, that's just surface rust from what we can tell. Maybe a little bit rust there. Driver's side is also pretty bad. Not nearly as bad as this side, but it's still not good if you can see through the floor. And under the carpet there, it's actually pretty good. There's still paint on it and everything. So I think we're gonna start by working on this side first. We're gonna have to cut it out and then make a new piece of metal for it. But we're gonna start by making cardboard cutout of the shape of the floor. I'm over here at our little workbench and we have a page of all of our plans, well, piece of cardboard. Step 1 is get running good or grind off floors. Both are step 1, don't know why. Second is cardboard template for the floor, and 3 is cut out the floor and then make a new one template. These are all the steps so far. Over the time of last clip, we learned how to use this plasma cutter. We did a few things with it. I think that was an example, and these were what I did. New channel badge, JM. Similar to GM, but not quite. So we're thinking of using the cutter to cut out the floor. We don't know if we should though, because it'll cut through the floor just fine, but we're scared it might cut through us as well. But for now, we're just gonna make the template for the floor out of cardboard. We started making the first cardboard template. We had to make a quick trip to town just to get some scissors because we had none. But the first side's looking good. I crumpled it down just by standing on it, and I used the scissors to cut out little corners. So this is the basic idea of what the floor should look like. There's a little crease up there, just where, I think the flat, yeah, kind of where the firewall meets. So that's all good. We have to add a little bit of metal up onto this part, just to make sure we have enough. And there's another corner up here. It's rounded here, so that, I don't think it should be an issue. But it's not that hard of a shape. We're gonna lay this out flat, so it shouldn't be hard. But my friend just went to go get the vacuum, so we're gonna have to vacuum this out, and then I think we're gonna start tracing this on the metal. We got the floor vacuumed out. It looks a lot better, and we did a little inspection and work underneath just to start removing it. I was wrong. We're not tracing on metal yet. We're actually gonna cut out the floor, then make another template out of cardboard. And we just took out the hook for the exhaust, or what was it?
E-brake cable.
The e-brake cable. This is what it was. It surprisingly, both of the screws came out. They weren't tight, so that's good for us. Probably wasn't good before. But now we're gonna have to cut it out, and there's a mount going right straight up where that hole is, and there's another one right there going across. So we just have to be wary of that. We have to cut out a square there, rectangle all there, and one up in that corner. And then that'll be the first part of the floor out. Most of the floor is out. I don't know what has to be cut out left. I think, yeah, this still has to be cut out. I don't know if there's anything on the sides. We didn't get to cut this out. My friend's dad came through and decided that all of a sudden he wants to work on it now. So I think he left the hardest stuff for us. We have to manage to get this off and whatever left in there. So I think we're just gonna make a cardboard template without the floor now. Yeah, then we'll be back. I was wrong about making another cardboard template. First, apparently we have to take the fenders off because there's a section down in here where that little panel's rusted out, and we have to get the fenders off to reach that. I don't quite remember the logic behind it, but we do have to take the fenders off, so we're doing that right now. We spent the entire day working on this, trying to get the fenders off. Well, Brian was working on the fenders. I was grinding a little bit inside. I got a little bit done. It's almost smooth. I think I'm just going to make a panel over it, but so far we've gotten the grill off. We got the grill and the front spoiler. So, there's that. And we may or may not have dropped something into the radiator, and because it's so brittle, it just broke. So there's no fluid in this anymore.
The only thing we have to show is no grill.
Yes. There's no grill anymore. The fenders, we got this one. This one will move a little. Yeah, there's some unknown
sort of blockage at the bottom.
Yeah, there's some unknown force holding this one in. And the other one, we didn't even attempt that one yet. We were working mainly on this. So we're going to pick this back up in the morning again and see if we can rip both of the fenders off and maybe the hood. It's the end of the next day, and we managed to get all of the front off. Both fenders I ripped off, as well as everything in front, and the hood we all ripped off together. It's up there now. We don't know when we're going to be able to finish this, because the rust is not necessarily good anywhere. This is just body fill up here. Pretty much all of this is body fill. It's really not that good. We're still probably going to work on this, but I don't know, because that was the frame. That was what the bumper was connected to, wherever it is. And I pulled on it so hard that I ended up ripping that entire panel out. I pulled the radiator out too after it got that leak, so I mean, it looks cool, but there's really not much good. And I also noticed that the drum on the other side was cracked, like right around here. So that's gonna mark the end of part 1 of this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.